Africa. Yeah, Africa's my home. Damn America and what America thinks. Yeah, I live in America, but Africa's the home of the black man, and I was a slave 400 years ago, and I'm going back home to fight among my brothers. Yeah.
For these two African Americans to come home was a great significance because of Hollywood and TV. A lot of us have been taught to hate Africa. There was a time if you called a black person African, they'd be ready to fight.
When I get to Africa, we gonna get it on because we don't get along. I want to eat him up. Too much speed for him. Too fast. Too fast. That's right. I'm a retired heavyweight champion of the world. I'm going to retire the heavyweight champion of the world. September the 25th, the world will be stunned. Feel it, buddy. That's right. If you think the world was surprised when Nixon resigned, wait till I kick Foreman's behind.
We're gonna rumble in the jungle. Come on. Come on. I go. Speak up, bro. Hold it.
George, is this fight against Ali will be the toughest of your career, you think?
Pensez-vous que le match contre Ali va être le plus dur de votre carrière?
Could be. Could be. I doubt it.
This is Muhammad Ali, September 10th, at New York City Airport, en route to Zaire to reclaim the heavyweight title of the world. Champ, what would you like to say to the children of the world?
I'd like to tell the children of the world, mainly right here where they speak and understand English in America, to live a clean life, stay off of dope, just turn the country up. Also, if they want to be like me, I'm getting ready to go whoop George Foreman. And by the time they see this, I would have beaten him. He's going to get his whooping, but I just have to wait. Boy, I was ready. I was going to upset the world again. The whole world was going to crawl and bow the next morning. I was going to defeat that big, indestructible George Foreman. I was going to rip him up. I was going to get him for the spawn punch. My dreams all messed up for 6 more weeks. The man's in trouble. The man is scared. He's in my country to start with. It's in my country. You want to see? Want me to show you it's in my country? Ali Boumouye. Ali Boumouye. Ali Boumouye. Can you pitch 100,000? I want the man. Yeah, when I get to Africa, we gonna get it on because we don't get along. I don't like him. He talks too much.
Beg your pardon?
You would continue boxing even if you would lose over there?
I beg your pardon?
You don't think about losing?
No. Thank you. Nice talking with you.
No, he was. We had heard that there was a world champion. We thought he was white. Then we realized he was black, like Muhammad Ali. But still, for us, Foreman represented America. He arrived with a dog, a German Shepherd, which immediately offended Africans since the Belgians had used Shepherd as police dogs.
And Ali picked it up almost as if these are my people. This is what I'm here for. All right, the time has come. I'm going to find a way to master this man.
Ali tries to tie him up. No real damage done in that exchange.
Foreman, like everyone else, had assumed that Ali would dance. And so Ali now went to the ropes and went into the rope-a-dope. And a lot of people thought at that moment the fight was over, especially on television when they saw it, because it looked like Foreman was now killing a very weak Ali.
You don't go to the ropes. And there he was, leaning way back. I wrote about it as if, I think the phrase I used was, it was like a man leaning out of windows trying to see if there's something on his roof. And, thinking, but you couldn't really see. Then here were these great broadsides going at him, and it looked as though he was being set up for the kill. And it happened so quickly and so abruptly. that I shouted to Norman, the fix is in. You know, that somehow he's supposed to go down in the first or the second. Ropes was halfway house to the floor. It just looked as though he had to cave in.
Awkward, but very powerful hooks, both hands, left hooks, and what would really be a...
They became so basic at that point that they were like two kids having a fight. And for that round, and for the next round, and for the next round, Ali lay against the ropes in the rope-a-dope. And he kept talking to Foreman. And it was extraordinary. You had to be close to see it, but it was all because it was intimate. And Foreman was throwing these prodigious punches that the sparring partners had thrown. And Ali swung like a man in the rigging. He'd go all the way back. He'd slide out. He'd come in and out of it like that. And occasionally he'd get hit. And he'd say, "George, you disappoint me. You don't hit as hard as I thought you would. George, you're not hitting hard enough. You're not breaking popcorn, George. You're just not hitting." And Foreman's insane with rage. And whanging at him and whanging at him and whanging at him. Powerful, powerful, powerful. And middle of the fifth round, Foreman was worn out. He had punched himself out, taken 3 rounds.
Ali picks it up a little bit, about 40 seconds left in round number 5. Good twist left, the culmination by Ali. Lands in the head of Foreman. Foreman with that right. Ali throwing a good left, a good right. Backs up Foreman. Backs him up in his back. Foreman staggers. Foreman tries to look. Ali throws to the right. Foreman gets back to the left. Foreman hit again. Foreman has been hit 3 or 4 times.
Suddenly, Muhammad Ali came off the ropes and he hit him a right. And you could see the sweat just pour off, just like a fountain come off Foreman's face. And you suddenly realized there was some design in this madness. You know, I then turned to Norman, I remember, and I see he must have been somewhat puzzled, but I said, "The succubus has got him," referring back to this woman with the trembling hands that I'd been told by the witch doctors were going to touch Foreman and destroy him.
The tactics of Ali to let the man punch himself out. 30 seconds left in round 8. Very even fight. Ali, a sneaky right hand. Another sneaky right hand. This time he works over the shoulder of Foreman. It's the combination. 3, 4, 5, 6. Foreman gets up to the knee. 8. That's it. The fight is stopped. Muhammad Ali, a dramatic 8th-round knockout. He knocks out George Foreman. He's done it.
Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali.
And in the morning, he spoke to African groups who come as delegations to see him. And they more than revered him. He was a god. And he spoke to them very simply that day and beautifully. And he said, "Afro-Americans in America, we're not as good as you are. Some of us are richer than you are. But you have a dignity in your poverty that we don't have. We are spoiled in America. We have lost what you still have in Africa, and you must keep that." And he spoke very gently, and I thought, my Lord, on top of everything else, this man's a political leader, and he's going to be a great political leader.
I have a lot of things to do when I start fighting in the black neighborhoods. We have a lot of problems that we have to solve among ourselves. Prostitution problems, dope problems, gang fight problems, knowledge of self. The black people don't have no knowledge of themselves. We have been made just like white people mentally. And white people have made us so much like them until it's hard to teach them anything about themselves. It's hard to teach them to unite and marry and be with their own because they're now like white people. Black people are now like white people. But they're so brainwashed. So we have to re-brainwash them now and teach them more about themselves and their own history, their own names, their own language, to respect and protect their own women, do something for themselves, and quit always begging white people for things they should.
In every heart, there is a drum that beats steady and strong. It does not know defeat. I feel it proud and know the sound of truth.
Here he was teaching, delivering a lecture, senior class day to these 2,000 Harvard graduates. And And he had these little cards in front of me. He gave this wonderful speech about he hadn't had the opportunity, but they had, and they should use that language, that learning that they had to go out and do their best to change the world, to make it a better place. And it was moving, and it was funny at the same time, and a great roar of appreciation at the end of it. And then someone shouted out, "Give us a poem!" And everybody quieted down. Now, the shortest poem in the English language, according to Bartlett's quotations, is called On the Antiquity of Microbes. And the poem is Adam Had 'em. It's pretty short. But Muhammad Ali's poem was Me Hui. 2 words. I wrote Bartlett's quotations, and I said, look here, that's shorter than Adam Had 'em. You want to put it in? And it stands for something more than the poem itself. Me Hui. What a fighter he was. And what a man.